Hey guys, it's me, Seren, back with another video. Today is day 10 of Hidden Figures, and today's hidden figure is Mary Wilson of the Supremes, who recently passed away on Monday, February 8th. I decided to do Mary Wilson because I felt like a lot of people, it seemed like we're not aware of all of her accomplishments with the Supremes as a solo artist and, just her life. And so I decided I wanted to make this video and feature her as a hidden figure. So, Mary Wilson, born March 6, 1944, and died February 8, 2020, was an American singer. She gained worldwide recognition as a founding member of the Supremes, the most successful Motown act of the 1960s and the best charting female group in U.S. chart history, as well as one of the best-selling girl groups of all time. Basically, the Supremes is sort of looked at as like the blueprint for all girl groups. The group released 12 number one hit singles on the Billboard Hot 100, which set the record at the time. And again, these are real hits. No streaming, no YouTube, no Spotify, no TikTok. Real hits that your faves know nothing about. Wilson remained with the group following the departures of other original members and later became a New York Times best-selling author for her memoirs. Until her very recent death, she enjoyed a successful career as a performer in Las Vegas, as well as an acclaimed run on television show Dancing with the Stars. Wilson was inducted along with Diana Ross and Florence Ballard as members of the Supremes into the Rock and Roll Hall of Fame in 1988. Mary Wilson was born to Sam and Johnny Mae Wilson in Greenville, Mississippi. She was the eldest of three children and moved with her family to St. Louis, Chicago, and finally Detroit as part of the Great Migration. Her family settled in the Brewster Douglas housing projects, and she first met singer Florence Ballard at an elementary school in Detroit while singing in the school's talent show. The two became fast friends, and at age 13, they decided to form a singing group. In 1959, when Wilson was 15, Ballard asked her to audition for music manager Milton Jenkins, who was forming a sister group to his male trio, the Primes. Wilson and Ballard were accepted into the group known as the Primettes, along with a young woman named Diana Ross. They set their sights on signing to Motown. "It's phenomenal to be that young and making those decisions," said Wilson. "We even wore all matching clothes the first time we went to see Berry Gordy." Following a talent competition win in 1960, the Primettes were invited to audition for Motown Records and signed to them in 1961. Motown president Berry Gordy insisted they change the group's name, however, and Florence Ballard picked the new name, the Supremes. They began undergoing Motown's rigorous artist development under Maxine Powell, which included dance, music, deportment, and even how to get out of a car gracefully. When we were in front of an audience, we were viewed as professionals. You see lots of people making lots of money, but they're still not professional. You shouldn't be learning the job while you're out there. When we stepped out, we were together, and that's what Motown gave us. The Supremes scored their first hit in 1963 with the song "When the Love Light Starts Shining Through His Eyes," which peaked at number 23 on the Billboard Hot 100 pop chart. At the end of that year, Gordy rearranged the group so Diana Ross sang lead over previous lead singer Florence Ballard. After the switch, the Supremes reached number one on the pop charts for the first time with the hit "Where Did Our Love Go?" Where did our love go? Jam! Becoming the first of 12 number one singles that included "Baby Love," "Stop in the Name of Love," and "Come See About Me." By 1964, the group had become international superstars, and between August 1964 and May 1967, Ross, Wilson, and Ballard sang on 10 number one hit singles, an unprecedented hot streak, and especially for Black American artists. At their peak in the mid-1960s, the Supremes rivaled the Beatles in worldwide popularity, and it is said that their success made it possible for future Black American R&B and soul musicians to find mainstream crossover success. Although Ballard was known as the voice of the group and Wilson was the sexy one, Gordy felt Ross was the standout, and in 1967 he changed the name of the group to Diana Ross and the Supremes. This caused tension with former lead vocalist Florence Ballard, who was fired from the Supremes by Gordy in July 1967. Cindy Birdsong, a former singer in the group Patti LaBelle and the Bluebells, was hired as Ballard's replacement. The new lineup continued to record hit singles until Ross left the group in early 1970, and at her farewell performance, Jean Terrell was introduced as her replacement. With Terrell, the Supremes recorded 7 top 40 hit singles in a 3-year period. During this period, Wilson contributed lead or co-lead vocals to several Supreme songs. In 1972, Cindy Birdsong left the group and was replaced by Linda Lawrence, after which the group's popularity began to wane. Jean Terrell and Linda Lawrence both departed in late 1973. In response, singer Sherry Payne was recruited to the group, and Cindy Birdsong also returned, making the new lineup Sherry, Cindy, and Mary. As the only original Supreme remaining, Mary Wilson became lead vocalist and was considered the group's main attraction and reason for continuing. In 1975, Wilson sang lead on the top 10 disco hit Early Morning Love. In 1976, the group scored its final hit single with I'm Gonna Let My Heart Do the Walking. In late 1977, Wilson left the Supremes and the group officially disbanded. Wilson released a self-titled album in 1979 and focused on performances in musical theater productions throughout the mid-1980s. She released a memoir entitled Dream Girl, My Life as a Supreme in 1986, which remained on the national bestseller list for months and established a sales record for the genre. So obviously the movie Dreamgirls with Beyonce and Jennifer Hudson and Anika Noni Rose is about the Supremes. So in the movie, Anika Noni Rose is like the Mary Wilson character. 4 years later, in 1990, Wilson released her second memoir, Supreme Faith, Someday We'll Be Together, also a bestseller, which focused on the Supremes in the 1970s. In between this period, Wilson became a frequent guest on several television programs and talk shows and began regularly performing in Las Vegas casinos and resorts. In 1992, she released a second solo album, Walk the Line, which quickly sold out, and she continued her success as a Las Vegas performer. In 2000, after failed negotiations for a Supremes reunion tour, Wilson released the album I Am Changing. In 2001, Wilson starred in the national tour of Leader of the Pack, The Ellie Greenwich Story, and a year later was appointed by Secretary of State Colin Powell as a Culture Connect ambassador for the U.S. State Department, appearing at international events arranged by that agency. In 2006, a live concert DVD, Mary Wilson Live at the Sands, was released. 4 years later, another DVD, Mary Wilson Live from San Francisco, Up Close, was also released. The Supremes' glamorous style is considered integral to their success, and as a lover of fashion, Wilson stored their outfits over the years, creating the Mary Wilson Supremes gown collection as an exhibition of the Supremes stagewear. The collection has been on exhibit at the Rock and Roll Hall of Fame in Cleveland, Ohio, and in 2008 commenced its UK tour, starting at the Victoria and Albert Museum in London. More than 50 sets of gowns are shown in rotation, starting with early formal wear from the 1960s and including famous gowns worn on television specials and nightclub appearances by the group in the 1960s and 70s. We loved looking pretty and glamorous, said Mary. We were girly girls, and that became our signature. Wilson fought 2 court cases with former employees over usage of the Supremes' name and, upon losing, became a high-profile activist for the Truth in Music legislation, which prohibits usage of musical acts' names unless an original member of the group is in the act or the group is properly licensed by the last person to hold the right of title to the name. The law also proposed to stop imposter groups from performing under the names of the 1950s and 60s rock and roll bands and was passed in 27 states. In 2011, 2013, and 2015, Wilson released new music. Her 2015 single, Time to Move On, reached the top 20 on the Billboard dance charts, making Wilson the record holder for the longest gap between hits on the dance chart. 36 years and 7 weeks, as her first dance hit on the chart debuted in 1979. In 2019, Wilson published her 4th book, Supreme Glamour, dedicated to the history of the Supremes and their fashion. Also in 2019, she competed on season 28 of Dancing with the Stars. In 2020, Mary Wilson received a Lifetime Achievement Award from the National Newspaper Publishers Association. Wilson was also, along with the Supremes, inducted into the National Rhythm and Blues Hall of Fame class of 2013. Wilson served as the Master of Ceremonies for the National Rhythm and Blues Hall of Fame from 2016 to 2019 and also served as a board member. She toured and lectured internationally as well as across the United States, and her lecture series, Dare to Dream, focused on reaching goals and triumphing over adversity. She died in her sleep on February 8th, 2021, in Henderson, Nevada, at the age of 76. 2 days before her death, she announced on YouTube that she was planning to release new solo music with UMG. And I really, really hope that this music still sees the light of day because I would love to hear it, so we'll see how that goes. And I'm going to go ahead and close out with a quote, and that is, "We inspired people to see what they could become. That was a dream come true for us. It's probably the most rewarding feeling a person could have, that you did what you set out to do and you did it on a grand, glamorous scale." And that's Mary Wilson, A Hidden Figure. Hopefully you guys enjoyed this one. There will be tons of links and information in the description box. There's a lot of articles and links and stuff on Mary Wilson right now since she just passed away, so please check those out. And I will see you guys with another Hidden Figure tomorrow. R.I.P. Mary Wilson. I hope she's resting and dressed somewhere beautifully with Aretha Franklin. Peace.